This is your main event of the evening. Best two falls out of three with a 1 hour time limit. Weighing 238 pounds in the black corner, from St. Louis, Missouri, Warren Bockwinkel. His opponent, weighing 236 pounds in the white corner, from Van Nuys, California, Wilbur Snyder. Your referee, Hank Matheny.
Hank Matheny now with a checkup here. And then away we go with a great main event. We're not wrestling by Australian rounds tonight. It'll be straight 2 out of 3 falls to a 1 hour time limit. You know, some of our main events here at the Hollywood Legion Stadium are presented by the Australian method with 15-minute rounds. Handshake and a friendly one, and our boys are ready to go. This is Wilbur Snyder, one of the most promising newcomers to wrestling that has appeared here in Southern California in many a year. And each boy trying for a wrist lock. Snyder comes up with a nice one. Key lock, top wrist lock. First takedown of the match goes to Wilbur Snyder. Scissors, and out of the hole is Snyder, and look at these boys move like a couple of tigers in the ring. In the referee's hold and off balance on the ropes, so they break. Snyder looked a little bit worried, but I don't think he needs to. Nice leg snatch by Snyder, step over toe hold, and he goes to work on it. Bears down with this one. Wilbur Snyder still with a nice step over toe hold here. Bockwinkel can keep one shoulder or the other off the canvas here, so he's not in any particular danger of being pinned, but of course he is in a little trouble with that left leg. Snyder doesn't want him going to the ropes. That's why he drags him back into the center of the ring. Look out. Snyder's getting a little off balance. Bockwinkel, with several more years' experience in wrestling, possibly knows a few tricks that Snyder doesn't, and this might be one of them right now to get himself out of a punishing hold. Here goes Snyder. Man overboard. Right back, and again. Look at Snyder work just like a cat here. Moving fast, taking that left leg. Bearing down with a lock that's a punisher. Now into his step over toe hold that he had before. Bockwinkel is saying, no, 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 no. Bockwinkel fairly close to the ropes. I doubt that he'll use them, though, for a way out. And he says, no, no, real loud now. There's a little kick, and Snyder is back again. And into the rope, so they will have to break. Go behind by Bockwinkel now for a body lock, and Snyder's trying for a go behind. Can't work it too well as they both fall into the ropes. Once again, they'll be up. Bockwinkel with a body lock from behind now. Wilbur Snyder trying to go behind himself, and he can't make it work. Bockwinkel with the hole, and Snyder in a little bit of trouble. Nothing serious. But he wants out of it. Into the ropes. Top wrist lock, key locked, and Bockwinkel has the hold on Snyder. Off balance here in the ropes. And there's the break. I don't think either of the wrestlers is worrying particularly about a punch from the other. They're just afraid the other might move a little too fast for them. They don't want anything like that to happen. That's why they're a little cautious on these breaks. Into the cradle hold. Snyder puts it on beautifully. Bockwinkel still in the cradle hold. Snyder has it. And Bockwinkel takes a look at these ropes and thinks maybe that might be the way to get out of the cradle hold. He's moving toward them. Sometimes, you know, discretion is the better part of valor, but I don't think that Snyder's going to give him a chance. He's, as a matter of fact, rolled him back, but Bockwinkel is keeping a shoulder off the canvas, so referee Hank Matheny makes no move to count here. Back comes Bockwinkel again. Here comes a possible move for a break as Bockwinkel's wrist lock does break. And he is reversing. Takes the Indian deathlock on Wilbur Snyder, and he hurts him with it. Bockwinkel hasn't really moved into the regular position for the Indian deathlock. He has the hold. He also has a toe hold. Into the ropes they roll again. Snyder's reversal enough to get him out of trouble here. It wasn't actually a reversal. He just came topside. Rest up after that, Beal. I don't know just what Bockwinkel had in mind. I don't think he planned to use a fist there, but Snyder backed off, waiting to see what was going to happen. Off balance here on the ropes again. A nice go behind by Bockwinkel, and he's got a body lock. Snyder's had a little trouble with these already here as they're working still for that first fall, but he comes up now with the wrist lock, somersaults Bockwinkel into the ropes, and they break. 10 minutes gone in our 1 hour time limit. 2 falls out of 3. Tonight we're not wrestling by rounds. Here's a real one. This hurts. Snyder's in trouble. Bockwinkel bearing down. Snyder is letting it be known, I should say, that toe hold is hurting quite a bit. Here he comes trying for a counter move. Can't make it work. Bockwinkel very effective in there, staying in close to him. Snyder finally comes up with a chin lock. I don't think it's going to be enough to get him out of trouble, but let's find out. Snyder shouting no, no, as the referee says, what do you say, Wilbur? Meaning, of course, he's not ready to give yet on this punishing hold. Bockwinkel stays right there with it. Now watch Snyder's move here. He's straightening out his leg, taking some of the... No, sir. He carried it back again. It came, and it hurt. Bockwinkel is saying, come on, Snyder, come on. Bockwinkel's got a leg under the ropes, and as he works on this left leg of Snyder's, he better be careful. If he slides too far under, he'll lose a very advantageous hold here. Snyder still declines the offer of submission from the referee, Hank Matheny. Look at Bockwinkel work on that left leg. He's punishing away here. This is the first meeting between two great prospects to face Lou Thez in a World's Heavyweight Wrestling Championship match. And it's an important test, of course. The winner, of course, the favored one to go on for a shot at the world's title. If it weren't for the fact that Wilbur Snyder is young and limber, he wouldn't still be wrestling here. There would have been a first fall before now. And I think Bockwinkel's a little bit surprised that he hasn't been able to get a submission. Look where he's taken that foot. Snyder, of course, also in danger of getting his shoulders pinned. And Bockwinkel keeps saying, come on, Snyder, come on. Meaning, come on, submit, give in. Give me that first fall, and then we'll go for the second one. But here they roll toward the ropes, and Snyder just pushes Bockwinkel's head under the ropes, so they'll have to break. That'll make Bockwinkel a little unhappy to lose a very advantageous hold. Now watch out for Snyder. He's got some trouble with the left leg, obviously. He should have after that. Well, that was Bockwinkel's move to try to get to that left leg, and Snyder would have no part of it. Now Bockwinkel's got him trapped in a corner, and Snyder can get away. Once again, Bockwinkel has the left leg, but they can't do anything. On the ropes, they have to break. Snyder keeps moving, trying to limber up the left leg, get some of the pain out of it, some of the stiffness, some of the soreness. Takes a side headlock on Bockwinkel. It's his turn to move now. Let's see what he's going to do. Wow, what a hip lock that was. There's a 1 count on Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel now moving, trying to get out of it. "15 minutes are gone here. 15 minutes gone in our 1-hour time limit." There's the takedown again by Wilbur Snyder. And Bockwinkel's out and right back in it again. Here we go to the ropes. And a leg trip, and up comes Bockwinkel. He's got it. This may be it right here. There is a submission. Bockwinkel grabbed that left leg, and that was too much. Bockwinkel takes the first fall, and Snyder is hurt, and no doubt about it. Coming off the ropes, a leg trip, a scissored leg trip there by Bockwinkel, and a submission by Wilbur Snyder. He couldn't take that. The left leg already bothered. Let's get the time from Jules now.
In the time of 15 minutes, 23 seconds with the rolling toe hold, the first ball goes to Warren Bockwinkel.
Here's the winner, the first ball. Well, ringside will be quiet for the next few minutes, so let's take a short break before the next move here. Well, here's the winner of that first fall, Warren Bockwinkel. Off to a good start. All make quick recoveries from these punishing holds because they're trained to do just that. If they weren't, they wouldn't last in the big-time competition we bring you here each Monday night. Waiting for the rest period to expire. In the background, of course, is our referee, Hank Matheny, who is an ex-wrestler himself, known as Boxcar Hank in the days that he was active as a wrestler. There's the warning whistle. Now, here we go. Of course, you know, if Bockwinkel gets this fall, he takes our main event right then and there. In the ropes, they'll have to break. In the ropes again, same situation on the opposite side of the ring, and again they break. Well, the boys keep going to the ropes. Let's see what happens now. This will change things a little bit. Snyder with his wrist lock will now try to somersault Warren Bockwinkel onto those shoulders, and here's the move, but it didn't work. Yes, it did finally work. It looked like Snyder might have missed out. Comes up for the head scissors, hooking the chin behind the knee, changes his mind about that, and goes for a short arm scissors. A very punishing hold on Bockwinkel now. Wilbur Snyder with the hold on Warren Bockwinkel. Here's the turn, but Bockwinkel can't do anything about it. He's right back in trouble again. Still caught in that short arm scissors. And look at Snyder make him go with it. That hurts. Broken the hold, and he's away from it. It was a good one for Wilbur Snyder as long as he could keep it, but he couldn't quite keep rolling with it any longer after Bockwinkel broke the scissors. Wait a minute, wrist lock, and he's right back again. Look at this young man come back and take this very same hold on that very same left arm. Hank Matheny just checking, but there is no intent on the part of Bockwinkel to give in yet on this hold. Once again, you notice Bockwinkel breaks it, but the left arm of Tsunami hardly can follow up with it. On the ropes, of course, that's why they're breaking. Forearm smash, and didn't gain any popularity with the fans here. The first one of the night, they're a little bit surprised by it. Now it's Wilbur Snyder with a forward quarter Nelson. He seems to have dominated things here in this second fall. Bockwinkel got the first in 15 minutes and 23 seconds. So we have lots of time yet to go here. There's a little trip kick takedown. Bockwinkel's been in trouble almost all the way. This side headlock now that Wilbur Snyder has. Keeps Bockwinkel with the shoulders very close to the canvas. You see the referee in there checking once again to see if they're both down at the same time. If they are, then he'll start his count. Look out. Bockwinkel turns, and it's Snyder who got in trouble and has come roaring back up there. Look out, Bockwinkel, a nice and fast reversal to a head scissors of his own. "25 minutes gone in our 1-hour time limit. Here comes Bockwinkel, and the leg may be close to being on the throat there, but it is not. The referee checked it. It's all right. Some of the fans at ringside get a little excited about this head scissors, but it's all right. It's not down on the throat yet. And there you see the referee check again and finds it's all right, and Snyder's trying to push it off and does. He's caught right again, and there comes Bockwinkel back with the same head scissors once more. Wilbur Snyder trying to work his way out of a punishing head scissors. It was Snyder all the way here at the start of things in the second fall. Now Hank Matheny is a little concerned about this hold. The leg is down there on the throat, and I think he's going to order a break. Bockwinkel's arguing with him. So the count goes, and Bockwinkel has to break before it goes to 5. He broke it 2. Look out. Snyder was trying for a lift and a body slap, and Bockwinkel wanted no part of it. There's a takedown by Wilbur Snyder. Snyder back in control of the situation here after losing control temporarily. And, of course, he has to get this fall or he loses this most important match to Warren Bockwinkel, who got the first fall. Out of it, into it. To the ropes, and, that was a try for the leg trip. That didn't work that time, and look at this. Bockwinkel is down and hurt, and it's 1 and 2 and 3, and Wilbur Snyder takes the second fall. Bockwinkel tried for that trip and that rolling toe hold, and Jules here is not chinning himself. He's getting the official time, and now we'll get the announcement from him.
In a time of 13 minutes, 2 seconds with a back body drop and a body press, the second fall goes to Wilbur Snyder.
Here we go. Now remember, a lot of things hang on this third and deciding fall if it comes up in this match tonight. The winner, of course, getting into a much more favored position for a chance at the World's Championship held now by Luthez. To the ropes. Ooh. I don't know whether Bockwinkel planned to use the fist or not, but he certainly indicated he wanted to. Reversal here, and Snyder had a fist there, but he didn't want to use it either, I don't think. Wilbur Snyder trying to work a side headlock, and wait a minute, Bockwinkel's come up with a toe hold. And gets himself out of trouble and gets a takedown, and he's got a good one here. As Bockwinkel, as you see here, is definitely in command of the situation, said to the referee just then, "How about it?" Meaning, what are the chances that Wilbur Snyder's had enough and wants to give in? A very, very important fall here. Still Bockwinkel with a very, very fine toe hold. You'll notice he's got the leg of Wilbur Snyder bent back over his own lower leg. And there he tugs on it, and how? Bockwinkel still in command. Wilbur Snyder hasn't really started a counter move yet. And Bockwinkel says, come on, boy, meaning, come on, let's see you give up on this. That's what he says, come on, boy. He just keeps saying it over and over again in the ring there. And so far, Wilbur Snyder in no mood to do anything about it. Once again, there's that come on, boy. There he says, come on, boy. You can, if you can lip read, you can see what he's saying. He's saying it's so loud you may be able to hear it on our house microphones here. Now, here comes a possible counter move. Face lock by Wilbur Snyder. Let's see if it's going to get him out of trouble. He got those shoulders down to where he had Bockwinkel in a dangerous position. But Bockwinkel's back up in full command once again. And once again, Bockwinkel says, instead of come on, boy, he says, come on, Wilbur, now. Here again is the move by Wilbur Snyder. Face lock, gets the shoulders down there. There's no count as yet, but it's very close to it. One, there it goes, two. Bockwinkel almost got counted right out there. Still keeps the toe hold. He knows what he's doing. He's gambling on keeping that hold. Taking a chance on a possible pin, thinking he can get out of it before it'll go to a 3 count. But now Snyder has moved Bockwinkel under the ropes, and the hold is broken. Ooh, Snyder in worse shape than we expected to find him when he got to his feet. There's the rolling toe hold, which won't be allowed because it was taken with Snyder off balance on the ropes. One way to work it. Snyder protecting the left leg. Got rid of Bockwinkel in a hurry that time. And it looked like Bockwinkel was about to come back with another toe hold. Off balance the ropes again. Snyder's taking no chances now. He knows the fact that his left leg bothers him is a real temptation. There's a forearm smash by Bockwinkel. It was a legal move. Some of the fans unhappy about it, but it was perfectly legal. And Bockwinkel comes up with an inside flat toe hold as a result. And Snyder is complaining, and loudly so. The referee signaling it was a legal move, but it didn't make any friends for Warren Bockwinkel nonetheless. Wilbur Snyder sounds off because this left leg is beginning to bother him quite a bit now. Warren Bockwinkel holding onto the toe hold, and at the same time trying to keep him getting into a headlock. Watch Wilbur Snyder's counter moves. He may break. He did break that toe hold. He takes command. Couldn't keep his side headlock, but at least he got himself out of the toe hold. That's the important thing. Smashes again, and off balance on the rope, and a bail. Wilbur Snyder into the ropes, and up comes Bockwinkel going for him once more. Beals him across the ring. Here's a tackle. Bockwinkel didn't expect it. Wilbur Snyder's on top. He may have it here. 1, 2, and 3. Wilbur Snyder, a sensational victory. Bockwinkel didn't realize it was all over. Snyder winning a sensational victory. Well, there it is, a handshake. Wilbur Snyder moves into a favored position for a shot at the World's Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Let's get the time in the third fall from Jules Strongbow.
Ladies and gentlemen, one moment, please, before I announce the time on that fall. Before you leave the arena, I would like to say one word to you. In my estimation, tonight you have witnessed one of the greatest wrestling matches we've had in the American Legion Stadium this year. Isn't that right? It was a wonderful match, and in the time of 10 minutes, 44 seconds, and the third fall to Wilbur Snyder and the match.
Well, a very exciting climax here to our main event tonight at the Hollywood Legion Stadium. Now, in just a few moments, Jules Strongbow will join me here at ringside, and we'll chat a little bit about wrestling, and I know you'll be interested in his observations on this fine main event we had here. By the way, I certainly most heartily agree with you. This is one of the greatest matches we ever had here.
There's little things, Bill, in wrestling that a lot of times the people sitting out in their homes don't realize or don't really, it's impossible for them to know. For instance, one time there tonight, Wilbur Snyder was caught in a head scissor by Warren Bockwinkel.
Yeah.
And just the legs were just across here. Well, the people saw Wilbur reach up and pull the leg on down until it was caught him under the chin. Well, you might say, well, I wonder why Wilbur did that. But if you'll remember, in Wilbur Snyder's last match here, Jack McDonald deliberately gave him what we call a green ear, a cauliflower ear. And that ear tonight, the left ear it was quite puffed up, and it was really green. You could see the reason why they call it that. Well, now, those ears, when they're like that, are almost like a boil. And Wilbur Snyder would rather be caught with the head scissor under the chin by far than have it across his head, right across that green ear. So those are the little things that happen in wrestling matches that if the fans sitting in the house could only realize at the time, why, it would make it more interesting. In fact, you and I didn't know it ourselves until I got up in the ring to make the announcement. And I usually go to each boy and talk to them to see how they're feeling and see, and Wilbur, if you remember, we kept working on that ear.
Yes, indeed.
He says, I feel fine, but my ear doesn't. But I think that another thing you have to remember, too, both these boys weighed in right almost on the nose of 240, well, 238 and 237, I believe it was. Maybe 236 and 238. Well, that's almost 240 pounds. Well, to move like they were moving, it was almost like lightweights, wasn't it?
I should say they're like a couple of tigers.
I've never seen light heavyweights move as fast as these two boys were moving tonight. And this Warren Bockwinkel, that's another thing, too. The crowd here was a crowd that really enjoyed their wrestling tonight. But at the same time, in the third fall there, along about the middle of the third fall, Warren Bockwinkel gave Wilbur Snyder a real terrific. It was really a terrific elbow smash.
Yes, I know, and it made the fans a little unhappy.
Perfectly legitimate.
That's right.
I'm telling you, it's in every wrestling book from one end of the world to the other. And yet the crowd didn't like it because it had been such an outstanding, wonderful wrestling match that they hated to even see an elbow smash, although there wasn't one dirty or rough or rugged move in the match outside of that one elbow smash, and that is perfectly legitimate.
That's right. The fans really shouldn't have complained about it because Bockwinkel had every right to use it, and it gained him an advantage that he needed at that moment.
That's right, and I don't believe I've seen harder falls. I can't remember when I saw big men that were thrown as high and lit as hard as they did tonight. And I know that the people out there that have been asking for this type of wrestling match, that they're really going to enjoy this, and I think that they can see the results, no matter where you are along our great hookup. Your letters mean just as much to us, and we appreciate your letters, and we would like to hear from you along the hookup, because live wrestling from the American Legion Stadium in Hollywood has got to be the greatest and finest wrestling in the country today, or we wouldn't bring it to you, would we?
You betcha. Well, I think we proved it tonight, because Wilbur Snyder here has got a good chance to step right on up and eventually get a title shot with Lou Thez. I feel this put him a long way ahead in that battle to get a chance at Thez's championship.
I wouldn't class Warren Bockwinkel as a trial horse at all.
No, sir.
I would class Warren Bockwinkel in the class of, I think he's rated in practically all of the wrestling magazines as in the first group of wrestlers throughout the country.
He's a top man.
He's far from a trial horse. He's been wrestling for about 15 years, as he told us, and he's fast. He fights hard and fast and furious, and he knows his wrestling. There was many an exchange of good wrestling holds in there tonight.
Boy, that was a great match, Jules, and it's just like we bring them each week from the Hollywood Legion Stadium in Hollywood, California.
Well, it's a profession, Jules, that I've just, shall I say, more or less from apprentice the last 4 or 5 years, but something I really enjoy, and so far I've made a success of it. It's TV and movie studio work.
Well, what pictures I know that all of our fans will be interested in the movies. Have you appeared in any pictures that that are showing in the studios, or are they all thrown in the can?
No, now, I wasn't, as the old saying goes, I wasn't the face on the cutting room floor. Some of the notable pictures that's out now, or has been out, which are great pictures, I think, was the Demetrius and the Gladiators. That part there, I played the part of a gladiator that was never defeated. It's a true story in the Roman days, the part of Macro. The part that I played there was, I was taken out of the arena and forced not to fight, or in retirement, so to speak, to guard 24 hours a day the emperor, which is called Caligulus. That picture there, Jules, I had a very good part, and I was treated fine. We were on that 11 some odd weeks, and I enjoyed my work very much. Now, you talk about the pictures that are out now. I have one out now that was, we made in Missoula and Polson, Montana, right in the lumber camps, and really, believe me, we had to rough it. It was none of this up at 10 o'clock and away from the set at 3 o'clock. We were up at 5:30 and 4:30 in the morning. We traveled about 76 miles down the highway and up through Snow Canyon, right in the canyon where there was a lot of snow and everything like that, and the lumberjack and the timberjack.
What's the name of the picture?
Timberjack.
Timberjack. Oh, yes, yes. You don't tell me that you helped saw and cut those trees down.
I didn't cut or saw the weeds down, but boy, I had a rough time. And by the way, my hair and beard was red.
Oh.
I say hair. I take that literally.
I remember this part. Now, no wonder you were in terrific condition. I remember here not long ago you had bright red hair when you'd go in the ring to wrestle, and you were just back off of this motion picture then. Is that right?
And a 5-week-old beard. Oh, and I was glad to get that shaved off, believe me.
Didn't I see you in a picture called Egyptian?
Egyptian. That came out right after Demetrius. That was made by the Fox Studio 2. It's a CinemaScope production, and it's what I say, a $7 million production. That I didn't have such a good part in. I mean, I had a part in there, a good part, but it wasn't like the other parts, because that was more or less of it was an accessory of people. Wasn't one of the extras. I had a character. I was a character part in Belladarva's court.
This boy, if he doesn't have the main lead, he thinks he doesn't have much of a part in it. Well, now, Stinky, you've told us about some of your movie films. You also mentioned when you came in that you did a lot of television film work. Now, I wonder if you could tell us some of the television series you've been in, and maybe give us a little idea of the difference between television and movie production.
Well, Julie, television, anybody in theatrical business knows that television work around the studios is much, much, much harder than the studio work that you do to major studios. You have a low budget, your work has to be so much faster, and normally there's not that cut and retake. It's straight through. I mean, you have
How
to
long
work.
does it take to make a TV film?
Well, now, a lot on the Boston Blackie and the Cisco Kids, we were making 2 pictures at one time. That meant I had to play 2 characters and memorize 2 different scripts. It takes from a Tuesday till Saturday, sometimes 9 days if you run into a lot of trouble.
To make the two,
To make the two pictures,
runs.
yes.
And you make 2 of them simultaneously.
That's the way we did in the Cisco and Boston Blackie.
Oh. What are some of the other series you were in? Now, you told us about these 2.
Life of Riley with Bill Bendix. That was on Here We Go Saturday. Had a very good part in there. It's a takeoff from Gorgeous George, right? It was named Fascinating Freddy.
What are some of the others?
Life of Riley, The Beulah Show, Dick Tracy series, as I said before, Boston Blackie and Cisco Kid. My friend Irma from another studio.
Well, that's enough. That's
Well, we
enough.
can
If you folks haven't seen the old Cripper on TV, it's because you don't have a TV set, because he's on just about every series that is out and showing across country now. Also, I'd like to talk to you just a minute. Here's a boy that is now, I would say, in the process of receiving national recognition in another field, too, and that's in the horse. I wonder if you could just give us a quick rundown about your parade horses, Crippler.
That is something that's very touchy with me, Jules. A lot of these people around the ringside say, well, you're from Texas. Do you ride a horse? Where's your horse? You can't bring it in the ring, but I got them. I've been the marshal on several big rodeos around this part of the country, in Long Beach.
A lot of them were filmed, weren't they?
They were filmed, yes.
So you'll be seeing those in your local TV stations, too, folks. So when you see a fellow that looks like Cripper Karl Davis as Grand Marshal leading the parade, why, just remember that about half the horses in that parade he has something to do with. But now, I'll tell you, folks, wrestlers are like everyone else. They like to reminisce once in a while, and I'm going to get the old Cripper here to do a little reminiscing in just a moment and tell us about one or 2 of the unusual and rugged experiences of his in the past. Well, as I said, Stinky has had some very rugged experiences, and I wonder if you'd mind telling us some of the most unusual experiences of yours during your 25 years of wrestling.
One thing that happened was in Galveston, Texas. I was wrestling down there one night, and I was wrestling the fellow, by coincidence, the fellow now, which is Great Bolo in Galveston, Texas. And the people were getting quite irritated and everything like that. A big sack was thrown in the middle of the ring, and what comes out of the sack when the sack breaks is about 7 or 8 of those little garden snakes. If you think I didn't sell out of that ring, Jules, oh boy, I moved.
Stinky, I got news for you. I was on that same card, and I saw all those snakes, and it wasn't only you that was running out of the arena. About half of the arena, I think that was the fastest I ever saw arena vacated.
There was ropes there, but I got over them somewhere.
Folks, you just have to imagine a big bag full of snakes landing, and if you people down in Galveston there watching this, you may remember that the balcony comes almost out over the ring, doesn't it, Stinky?
It covers part of the grandstand, part of the ringside downstairs.
So all you have to do is just almost drop them, and they land right in the middle of the ring. Well, that was quite an experience, and I think the fire marshals around the country could probably get a little idea about how to evacuate a big building in case of emergency.
They did that night.
Yes, sir. Well, what's some of the others?
Another one was when the night I wrestled Yvonne Robert for the Canadian championship up there and beat him. And after I beat him, I walked out of the ring, and the doctor rushed me in the dressing room. I didn't know what it was, and I found out I had 29 stitches. He took 29 stitches on the outside and 19 stitches on the inside of my lower lip. He had cut clear through a spectator, cut clear through with a penknife through my lower lip. I still hold that scar.
And, wait a minute. I want to identify where. I don't believe we told where this was. This was in Montreal.
Montreal, Canada.
Yeah. And Yvonne Robert. Yeah, I thought it was. Maybe you did say Montreal, but I wasn't sure. All right, now let's go ahead. What was another?
Well, another one happened that was very. I think you're instrumental in being a little part of this. You probably don't remember this. This happened at Corpus Christi one night. No, I'll take that back. Niagara Falls, Ontario. You remember the night we were supposed to be standing when they played the national anthem, the Canadian anthem, and we were standing at attention. And while I had my back standing at attention, I got a tap on the shoulder and turned around, and you hit me right smack in the mouth. Do you remember that?
Wait just a minute, folks. This man isn't telling the true story of this, believe me, because that isn't the way it happened at all. But actually, the way it happened is this boy here, we'd just been in a real rough match, and this boy here just loosened and knocked out about 4 of my front teeth is how it actually happened. And when I came out of the ring, why, I had lost about 4 teeth, and I was a little mad, so I kind of let you have one as we went by. But that was 20 years ago. Let's forget that.
You said reminisce.
Well, it certainly is wonderful to have fellas back here. And here's a boy that's held the Texas Heavyweight Championship about 4 times, isn't it, Stinky?
4 different times. The first time I took it away from Jack Humberto.
Yeah, well, Jack is quite a boy. But, Stinky, it looks like we just about reminisced ourselves out of some of our old times, because our time has just come to a close here in the dressing room. I hope that you've enjoyed our little behind-the-scene chat, that you'll join us again and invite us into your living room when we bring you more unusual inside information about your favorite wrestlers. But until we meet again, this is Jules Strongbow saying goodbye for now, and thanks very much for visiting with us.
We're looking into the corner occupied by Mr. Moto in the center, and the champ, Joe Pazandak. On the other side, Mr. Fuji, Mr. Moto's valet, with him also. But now I see that Jules Strongbow is ready to introduce our main eventers.
One moment, please, boys. This is your main event of the evening, a tag team match. Best 2 falls out of 3, or 4 15-minute rounds, Australian style, including rest periods. Introducing the first team in the black corner, weighing 241 pounds, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Joe Pazandak. His partner, weighing 240 pounds, one of the greatest sumo catch-can and judo wrestlers ever to come out of Japan, Mr. Moto. Their opponents in the white corner. First, from Singapore, weighing 19 stone 2, 262 pounds, Lord Layton. His partner tonight, weighing 16 stone 8, 232 pounds, from England, Lord James Blears. Lord Layton and Lord Blears appear tonight through the cooperation and consent of their manager, Captain Leslie Holmes. We have 2 referees for this great tag team match, Ted Grice and Cecil Payne.
Mr. Moto is being divested now of his haudi, the short kimono, called that in the Japanese language, by Mr. Fuji, his valet. There seems to be a little difficulty in unfastening it. Now it is accomplished, and the haudi in a very colorful figured cloth is taken off. Mr. Moto in his wrestling tights, his short tights, bright scarlet and yellow. And off come the gaiters, the wooden shoes, and the tobbies, the famous socks that the Japanese favor, you know, with a special compartment for the big toe. And the glasses and the fan. And there seems to be some question between the 2 British lords about the propriety of this wrestling outfit. But anyway, as they discuss it, they seem ready to go. Lord Blears will start against the champ in the first round. And it's a rough beginning for our first round of our tag team match tonight. quartered on the ropes. And the champ breaks and makes quite a thing out of it. Top wrist lock taken by the champ. First real hold and a tag. The strategy seems to be for frequent changes. And the champ is confused and upset as Lord Layton, a tremendous man, a giant of a man, comes in. The champ, many inches shorter, has a toe hold. And Lord Layton, I don't think has figured out exactly what he wants to do. And it looks like another tag will be in order here. That's what it is. And Lord Blears is going to come back in. And the champ is caught with a top headlock by Lord Blears, leading to a little bit of unhappiness on the part of the champ and his partner, Mr. Moto, the famous Japanese wrestler. Another tag. Lord Layton comes in, and the champ says, "What is it?" Mr. Moto, in a conference, gives the champ some advice. The champ comes in for a body lock. And another tag. The champ, every time he gets a hold, he says, "I give up." What you gonna do? You get a hold, they tag. Well, the British Lords have certainly introduced something novel and unique with this constant changing. As you realize, to relieve your partner in the ring, you must touch his hand, and you must be standing both feet on the canvas, outside the ropes, one hand on the top turnbuckle. Giant arm bar by Lord Blears. And Lord Blears works on the arm. Now the champ would like to tag, but he can't quite make it. Yeah. First takedown of the match, and Lord Blears is going to have trouble tagging this time. However, he is punishing the champ's left arm. Champ was tempted there to pull hair. And Lord Blears bridges and still keeps his lock on the arm. Down with a knee. Champ trying to break that bridge of Lord Blears. That time it was the knees, and a break has been ordered. He can come down with the leg, but not with the knee. Lord Blears goes out. Lord Layton comes in. Mr. Moto, asking questions, has been tagged and was a little reluctant about entering. Now he's found out, and Mr. Moto looks at this giant of a man who comes toward him, and he's just not sure how you begin. Look out, the conference is broken up in a hurry. Lord Layton working on Mr. Moto's left arm. There is a 2 count. This is the first of 4 15-minute rounds. Unless, of course, there's a fall, the round goes the full time. And if there are 2 falls for any one of these teams, the match automatically ends at that time. Lord Layton with a short arm scissors on Mr. Moto. Mr. Moto would like to tag, but it's a mighty long reach. Nobody has arms that long. Now Lord Layton moves out on that left arm. Mr. Moto trying to counter. Finally does get Lord Layton back in the canvas, and there's a 1 count on Mr. Moto, however, as Lord Layton has a rather loose, short arm scissors on him. Mr. Moto now coming up top side here. Fork shooter cuts at the throat in here. And Lord Layton, apparently not hurt by them, just kicked out to get himself out of trouble. This quarter Nelson by Mr. Moto has some of the fans shouting choke. Break being ordered. Mr. Moto breaks. And Lord Layton drops the punch in there, and I think everybody expected it from Mr. Moto. him a foul by Mr. Moto as he goes over to talk to the champ, Joe Pazandak. Mr. Moto highly incensed. Lord Layton indicates he can't hear what he's saying. He can't understand it because Mr. Moto is shouting at him in Japanese. Wait a minute, Lord Layton is taken over to the meat grinder here. Joe Pazandak punishing away at him. They're calling for Lord Blears to rush into the ring, but Lord Layton is rescued by the two referees, and Mr. Moto right back again on Lord Layton. Count got to 3, almost 4. Mr. Moto stopped. If it had gone to 5, he could have been disqualified, failing to break on orders. Mr. Moto is trying for his famous sleeper hold, a hold that can bring on a brief period of unconsciousness, and the champ, you see, slamming away there, and the referee is stopping from doing that. The count goes to 4, and just does go to 4, and almost on to 5, and look at the judo cut for Lord Layton. Mr. Moto is supposed to be the expert on that. He tags, and Lord Blears comes in against Mr. Moto, and Lord Blears is ready for action. British nobility going a little bit wild here at the moment. Lord Layton just dropped one in there to keep Mr. Moto loosened up, and he hurries over to tag the champ and bring him in instead. Champ infuriated by the sudden turn of events here, starting that famous double-handed attack, that softening up process of his. On the way, and suddenly Lord Blears reverses with a leg lock and a toe hold. Mr. Moto started down the ropes, trying to break this punishing hold, this leg scissors that Lord Blears has on the champ. And the champ is in real trouble. Maybe very close to a submission here for what could be the first fall. The champ goes to work on the hand, a favorite point of attack for him. We have 3 minutes left to go in the first round here. 3 minutes remaining. And Lord Blears tags in. Lord Layton comes in. Look how he towers over the champ. The champ again starting that double-handed attack, hitting with the heel of the hand, which is perfectly legal under the California rules. And Lord Layton is in trouble, and big trouble. A judo cut of the throat, and Lord Layton hard at work on the champ. The softening up process is turning around. Lord Layton bouncing away there, tags, and Lord Blears comes in. The champ is hurt. And Lord Blears trying to get that first fall before the bell sounds to end our first round of wrestling under the Australian rules. Now he's going to let Lord Layton come in and try to finish up the champ with a surfboard. And here's a man with the length of arm and leg to really put on a surfboard. Very close, very, very close. The bell has sounded. Wait a minute, I think the bell sounded too soon. Mr. Moto comes in there. There was no submission. The time has run out. The time has run out. There was no fall. The time had expired in the first round here. Mr. Moto complains. Mr. Fuji in there also helping take care of the champ. Well, there you have the first round in the main event here at the American Legion Stadium in Hollywood. I've just shouted to some of the crowd, and he's shouting it again. My back's all right. Well, let's see if it really is, because the warning whistle sounded, and our second round is coming up, with neither side having scored a first fall. The champ continues to shout, and the sabat attack, and the double-handed slams, and the forearm smashes. Look at them as they're rained on Mr. Moto here by Lord Blears, and the champ, for getting in on the argument, gets a little punishment on his back that he insists it was all right. He took a tag from Mr. Moto, and he's lifted, and a slam. Lord Blears is going to let Lord Layton come in.
as the champ, who said everything was all right, is getting a real treatment here. Lord Layton, some 260 pounds, stands on the champ and just stands there. And it could be the champ might even submit. Not yet, but it's very close to a possible submission. Lord Layton is going to let Lord Blears come in. And look at Lord Blears go to work on the champ, trying to get what could be the first fall. Lord Blears taking over for a full crab. A full crab. We could have our submission right now. We have. The champ has submitted, and the second round ends right here with Lord Layton and Lord Blears. Lord Blears actually putting on the full crab on the champ to take what amounts to the first fall of our match. A very quick fall, and we'll get to the time in the second round for you in just a moment. Champ still complains. The champ insists he did not submit. He's shouting, "I said no." But let's hear from Jules Strongbow if we can get it above the uproar.
First fall in 1 minute, 9 seconds of the second round, the team of Lord Layton and Lord Blears.
So this brings us to the end of the second round. Now in just a moment the wrestlers will be back in action and we'll have round 3. We're back ready for action with the bell about to sound to start the third round. And the champ is again insisting everything's all right. As you saw a moment ago, he claimed he did not submit. He said no, he was not ready to submit. But everybody else seemed to hear it the other way. Well, Mr. Moto is going to start. The champ was out there, but he quickly leaves the ring, and Mr. Moto will meet Lord Layton as round B. We're wrestling Australian style here again. The first team to get 2 falls will win. However, they will be wrestled 4 rounds. And the boomsa-daisy for Mr. Moto as Lord Layton has him tight in a body scissors. Ted Grice just asked if Mr. Moto wanted to submit it, and it made Mr. Moto very unhappy. He's turning in those scissors. He's trying to go to work on the throat, but not much chance. Lord Layton with tremendous strength, able to really pour it on with the body scissors. Moto, the fork judo cut broke the scissors, and he's slamming away with those fork judo cuts, which are okay. Slamming away at the throat of Lord Layton, who seems to be in trouble. Lord Layton can't quite, gets free. Lord Blears wants to tag and does get a tag. And so Lord Blears comes in and takes over. Well, wait a minute. The judo cuts are hurting Lord Blears now. And the sleeper hold is on, but a stomp on the bare foot spoils everything. A drop kick. Look at that. Mr. Moto very close to losing everything here. The champ with an extra punch to the ropes. Remember this, despite the fact we wrestle 4 15-minute rounds, each round, of course, is when there's a fall, and if any one of these teams gets 2 falls, the match will end at that time. Now, protestations of friendship by Mr. Moto. Moves in on the hand. Let's see if Lord Blears to the sabbat that time. A kick to the back to the side of the foot, which is okay. Judo cut. Champ after Lord Blears. Mr. Moto will continue to see what he can do, and as finally quits, is taken off. Lord Blears seems to be in trouble as Mr. Moto tries for the sleeper hold. And a tag, and Lord Layton comes in. And moves in on Mr. Moto. Gets set with that arm. Winding it up. Lord Layton relieved by Lord Blears, and the latter goes to work and stops that fair tootsie again. Wow, 2 times. And continues to work on Mr. Moto's left arm. Mr. Moto reversing, coming up topside. But he's working on that throat, and they claim it is impairing the breathing, so he'll be stopped. He tags and lets the champ come in. Lord Blears in trouble, getting some rabbit punches here, and the champ, who seems to be in better shape than he was in the second fall, slams away. Lord Blears surprises the champ, but Lord Blears is hurt. Champ pounds with a forearm. Lord Blears starts to move to get away. The champ again goes to work and gets a 1 count on Lord Blears. Some of the fans are shouting here, but actually I don't think the champ has really pulled it. He has a little that time. And he pounds that midsection. Lord Blears is hurt. And it's 2. And it's 3. And it's a fall apiece. The second fall, coming in the third of our 4 rounds of competition in the main event tonight at the Hollywood Legion Stadium, goes to Mr. Moto and Joe, the champ, Pazandak. Joe Pazandak pinning Lord Blears of the team of Lord Blears and Lord Layton. And Lord Layton hurries into the ring, and Captain Leslie Holmes, the manager of Lord Blears, also in here to help him out. Let's get the official announcement from Jules.
In the time of 4 minutes, 1 second, the second fall goes to Mr. Moto and Joe Pazandak. That is in 4 minutes, 1 second of the third round.
We've had lots of action here tonight, and we've come to the end of the third round. But there's always plenty of action when your favorite wrestlers get into the ring at the American Legion Stadium in Hollywood. Promises, this is going to be one of the greatest tag team matches, and already it's lived up to every promise you made.
Well, Bill, maybe I didn't explain myself fully when I said one of the greatest. What I meant was it would be one of the greatest to the wrestling fans, because for once they could relax, and I knew it was going to be a lot of wrestling, a lot of good rough stuff, but the people don't care who's getting the rough stuff because they don't actually have a favorite tonight, although it seems to me like that most of the people here do favor Lord Layton and Lord Blears tonight, which surprises me a lot. I think that Pazandak and Moto have showed surprising strength against 2 such large fellas, don't you?
I think they did very well. The only thing, I think Joe overestimated himself, and he said his back wasn't hurt a bit at the end of the first round.
Well, Pazandak is a fellow that's been around for a long time. He knows all the tricks of the trade in wrestling, and he doesn't fail to take advantage of them. When he hollers his back getting hurt, it was probably hurting him pretty bad, but he was just trying to throw him off a little, you know.
You want to make any prediction? This is a tough one to predict.
Well, I don't know. There's only 1 round left. Whichever team scores a fall this round is the winner of the match, you know.
I should say. Well, it's a little difficult, too, in tag team wrestling. They have to move pretty fast, and they want to get those falls.
That's right.
What did you think of the strategy in the first round of Lord Layton and Lord Blears, of those continual tags where they were in and out of the ring about every minute?
Well, it kind of reminded me of a wrestler we have here once in a while that's always saying that he's going to confuse the opponents. I think it looked to me like that Lord Layton and Lord Blears were merely trying to confuse the opponents. So
I think they were.
That was it, I imagine, Bill.
Thank you, Jules. I think our time is about run out. Yes, there's the whistle. And we'll be underway with the final round. Look out. Everybody hurries in there. Both Lord Layton and Lord Blears came across the ring. Mr. Moto is slow in getting out. And the champ says, let's have no more forearm smashes. So, in a contrast in height, the champ meets Lord Layton as they go to the crucial last round of our main event. Top wrist lock, key lock by Lord Layton. The champ with a halfway body lock, punishing the back. He's got pressure on the nerve center back there, and he is forcing a break. Cecil Payne, the referee, as you see at the back of the picture, checking with the other referee, Ted Grice. And they agree this hold is okay. Lord Layton is trying to get over, and I think he does want to tag Lord Blears, and he has done just exactly that. Here's Lord Blears punishing the champ's back again. With forearm smashes, he goes to work. They're on the ropes, and the referee's trying to break them. Lord Blears drops 1 punch in after tagging Lord Layton, and Lord Layton feels the champ across the ring and runs into a punch that really has slowed him up. So the champ pounds away with his famous softening up process here. The hold may be on the throat. Lord Layton taken into the corner, and Mr. Moto also working on the throat. Ted Grice, the referee, outside the ropes. Orders the break. Cecil Payne inside, counting off here as Lord Layton staggers down the ropes. Mr. Moto in on the tag now, replacing the champ. Lord Layton trying to protect himself. Cecil recovered a little bit. Body locked by Mr. Moto.
Yeah.
Mr. Moto has a body lock, but you see the counter move by Lord Layton now. In an effort to break it, which he has done. He's got a reverse Nelson working for him. Moto in trouble. Bail by Lord Layton as he gives up on the hold. Off balance in the ropes. Break has been ordered. Lord Layton slams one in there and another in the tummy. And Mr. Moto gets Beal across the ring, and he's coming back with a mare. Late to the side headlock. This is the final round. Only a few minutes left for either of the two tag teams to come up with a fall that could give them this important main event tonight here at the Hollywood Legion Stadium. Lord Blears shouts to Lord Layton, watch the sleeper hold, but Mr. Moto's hold is down on the throat, and he breaks at the count of 3. And, of course, until 5 to break. Count is 3 again. Look at that. They ran head-on into each other, and they just let their chests collide, and it was much the worse for Mr. Moto. There, Mr. Moto is snapped hard. Lord Layton snaps the mare again, and now lets Lord Blears come in. Stomp on the hand this time. The forearm smash, and then suddenly back comes Mr. Moto. And a surprise sabat kick. Mr. Moto's in trouble. Look at these mares. But a punch changes everything. And the judo cuts fore and aft here. Leg snatched by Lord Blears. He's going to tag and let Lord Layton come in and take over. Working on this left leg with an inside flat toe hold. And Lord Layton comes up with the Indian deathlock. The champ illegally in the ring. Spoils the hold. And Mr. Moto will not be allowed to keep the hold that he has here. Going to force him to break. The tag will bring the champion against Lord Layton. Face lock by the champ, side headlock by Lord Layton. Lord Layton bridges, and look at the strength of this man as he comes back up again. So close to having those shoulders put right down on the canvas. Now Lord Layton changes the leverage a little bit, but the champ still has the strength to bring him back over once again. Lord Layton down on the canvas, the champ topside. We have 9 minutes left. 9 minutes left here of wrestling time in this final round. Plenty of opportunity, of course, for either of the tag teams to get the deciding fall. Of course, Lord Layton, a tremendously strong man, trying to get enough leverage to reverse on the champ, and here he comes. Lord Layton moving, the champ losing ground. The rope's being bounced by Lord Blears as Mr. Moto is leaning over there. The champ, in disgust, breaks the hold. As they moved, you could see the champ come up with the body lock. And with that lock, he has the knuckles pressing against the spine. But a tag, and Lord Blears will replace Lord Layton. Lord Layton's still in the middle of things here. They're having trouble getting a break. I don't know whether the champ realizes or not. There's been a tag. He's taken off by Lord Blears and got a slam to the throat from Lord Layton on the break. Lord James Blears with the arm lock on Joe Pazandak. Remember, it's a fall apiece. Lord Blears and Lord Layton got their fall after 1 minute and 9 seconds of the second round. Mr. Moto and Joe Pazandak got theirs after 4 minutes and 1 second of the third round. The first round went the full length with no fall. Lord Blears now seems to be in trouble, and he's trying to tag. Couldn't quite reach Lord Layton, despite the latter's tremendous reach. And the tag. Lord Layton moves in, replacing Lord Blears. Double wrist lock and a double arm stretch. Time for that deciding fall. The champ turning in the hold. Oh, he's in the hold. He's beginning to come up topside. Champ reverses. Look out, he's got both the legs. It was a 1 count on Lord Layton, a 2 count, as a matter of fact, that time, before he kicked free. Then they move again. Champ takes a top wrist lock, goes way out on the fingers where he likes to put the pressure on. Of course, he cannot legally separate the fingers. Ed Grice moves in to make sure that they're not separated. And Lord Layton is starting a reversal. Instead of reversing to the hole, he just broke it. And you can see the champ looking a little disgusted. And deciding to move once again. Body lock by Lord Layton this time. Champ can't do much with the big man, but he has finally worked himself back to that top wrist lock again. Now let's see what luck he has this time. Lord Layton just steps out of it. As easy as that. Mr. Moto not very happy about the maneuver. 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes left here in the final round. Now watch a real test of strength between two tremendously strong men. Lord Layton, Joe Pazandak. Well, the kick spoiled it. And the champ starts that softening up again. Champ decides to let Mr. Moto come in and replace him. And because Lord Layton's off balance against the ropes, Mr. Moto cannot continue the attack. Go behind by Lord Layton, the full Nelson on Mr. Moto. Lord Blears lets him have one, and how? Moto the ropes, runs into one of those judo cuts, one that he specializes in himself. And Lord Blears dumps a tackle on him right in a hurry. Drop kicks in. Lord Layton with an extra slam in there. And a bear brings Mr. Moto out. A tag, and Lord Layton comes back, as Mr. Moto is the one who's in trouble now. Look out. Mr. Moto isn't through. Don't count him out yet. He drives those judo cuts at the throat. And he tagged Lord Blears. He didn't realize where he was. Mr. Moto was tagging Lord Blears. Down comes that tremendous arm of Lord Layton. He has tagged Lord Blears. And a stomp of the bare foot. And Mr. Moto racked up but good. Lord Blears goes after him now. Tags and lets Lord Layton come in to work on him once again. There's a veal. And a mare. And now Lord Blears on top. Let's see if he can pin for 1 and 2. That is all just 2, not that third count. Champ slipping down the ropes, being held off by Ted Grice. Mr. Moto trying to tag. We have 2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes left. Let's see if we're going to get that deciding fall. Mr. Moto putting on the sleeper hold, but there's pressure on the throat and the hold is broken. Leg snatch by Lord Layton. The champ won't tag. The champ is ready to give instructions to Mr. Moto, but he would not accept the tag and come into the ring. Mr. Moto topside now. Lord Layton under the ropes. That's why they're holding off Mr. Moto. A tag again, and Lord Blears, who gave that double-handed rabbit punch, is in there legally. Lord Blears snapping a mare. And look out, we're very close here. Very close to having 2 sets of shoulders in the canvas. Moto is in the ropes. And Lord Blears will have to wait until Mr. Moto comes in. I don't know what Lord Layton planned, but it didn't work. 1 minute left. Mr. Moto tagging again on Lord Layton this time. He is shaken up by what he's been taking here in this 4th round. He wants to tag the champ, and the champ does accept the tag now and comes into the ring. Look out. Champ can't be sure just where that really came from. Only seconds remaining in the 4th and final round of the great main event climaxing our card tonight at the Hollywood Legion Stadium. Look at that savant kick. And the champ who said there was nothing wrong with his back has got plenty wrong with it now. Lord Blears taken down hard, though, with a leg snatch. And it's the champ's turn to hand out the punishment here. Body scissors. Lord Blears with a tremendous one here. And the bell. The time has run out. It is a fall apiece. Let's get the opinion of the referees. Champ a little concerned, comes up, and it is a draw. A draw, fall apiece. And the referees rule this one to be a draw. We'll get the official announcement from Jules Strombo in just a moment. What an exciting and wild main event we had here tonight.
At the end of the 4th round, each team having won 1 fall, the referee's decision, a draw.
Well, leaving the ring, our various wrestlers, Lord Blears and Lord Layton getting congratulations from the ringsiders. Ted Grice on his way out also. And you notice Lord Layton so tall that he just steps over the top rope. The champ leaving through the opposite corner behind us. And you see something of the popularity of our 2 British lords here this evening as they acknowledge many requests for autographs. Standing up there with them also Captain Leslie Holmes. Lord Blears standing on the top of the ladder there, ready to come down for the ring, by the way. Had many exciting experiences during World War II. Escaped from a Japanese submarine, jumping overboard when it surfaced, and swimming with his hands manacled to get away from the Japanese. Captain Holmes, by the way, also had distinguished service in the British Army during the war. Now Jules Strombo's come down here to join us. We've got a tremendous crowd, and I don't know whether we can have an opportunity to let Jules, as big as he is, though he isn't as big as he used to be, thanks to his half on. He's losing weight, and Jules would like to get out here and I'm sure talk about this exciting main event that just Jules?
Well, I'll tell you, Bill. right to the last second there. It looked like that we had plenty of action in this. How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the dressing room of the Hollywood Legion Stadium, where I'd like for you to meet our first guest. Now, the guest we have for you today is one of the most controversial figures in modern-day wrestling. Well, I think this is a lot because he still insists on a lot of the British rules and customs being enforced here in this country. But I would like to add that while he has been here, he has 3 times won the Knapp Award for his outstanding ability as a wrestler, and has been tabbed by the sports writers throughout the United States as the world's finest wrestlers. Now, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you at this time one of the leading contenders for the Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. And I might add, he is the British Empire Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, has held the Light Heavyweight Championship of the world, the Junior Heavyweight Championship of the world, and is recognized throughout the world as one of our truly great wrestlers. Come right in here. Lord James Blears and Captain Leslie Holmes, his manager. Welcome to Dressing Room Interviews.
How do you do?
Well, I tell you, I've just made a notation on my pad here that when you came in, I wanted to ask you exactly why you fellows have such a pet peeve toward our modern wrestling tactics in the United States and the spectators. Would you mind airing your views?
Well, Jules, in my position, of course, I can't ever have any pet peeves or anything like that, but I think, Leslie, you could tell Jules and the people what they are.
Yes, Jules, his lordship, usually before he enters into a contest, asks me to instruct the people into the correct method of etiquette, the correct behavior at a wrestling contest, and that is, his lordship dislikes any undue display of enthusiasm, whether it is adverse criticism or applause.
You mean he doesn't like the loud noises and booing and the yelling in our arenas?
Hates it. In fact, Jules, at times he wears earplugs to, if things get too bad. He does like shuffling of the feet to display displeasure, and clapping of the hand to show that people are pleased with his wrestling.
Fine. Well, thank you. And I know, folks, that one of the main reasons is because they feel that the Lord has been decorated by both kings and queens. And tonight, I believe you told me you had the medals in the dressing room. If you'd be so kind as to go get the medals and display them to the public, we'll be waiting right here for you when you get back.
All right, Jules.
Right, Jules.
Lord Blears, you certainly have quite a collection of medals there. I wonder if you would tell us what these medals are, and they are all medals in reward for your heroic action during World War II. Is that correct?
That is true, Jules. They're not wrestling medals. However, this one has a little connection with wrestling.
If we hold it down so we get
Yes,
a good
all
view
right.
of it here with our...
This is the Kraus van Verdienste. This was presented to me by Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands for an action against the Japanese in the Pacific Ocean in World War II, 1944. And I had a little wrestling ability there, saved my life. That's why I mentioned before that wrestling is a little connected with this medal here. This was presented to me actually later, again in Los Angeles at the Southern California cap and gown dormitory or something or other, when Prince Bernard and Queen Juliana came over here in 1950.
Oh,
51, I think it was, yes.
Quite interesting. Now, let's see some of the other medals we have here.
This was actually a Dutch award, Jules. I was sailing on a Dutch vessel as a liaison officer. This one is the Battle of the Atlantic. We've all heard of the Battle of the Atlantic. That was the submarine attacks, U-boats, 1939 to 43. That's when they attacked.
Another one here.
This is the Burma Star here and the Pacific Star clasp. That was for action in Burma and in the Pacific Islands over there.
All right,
these are all British, Jules.
Oh,
all of
yes.
them, yes.
Quite so.
And this is the, let me see, Leslie. 3945 Star, yes. That's the, for being in the service from 1939 to 1945. And here we have the most famous of all, of course, the Victory Medal, which denotes the winning side. And I know we were all on that, both Americans and British alike. And of that we're very proud, Jules.
Oh, yes. Well, thank
Yes.
you very much. You told us once before that one reason that Wilhelmina gave you this award, it was more or less directly and indirectly due to your wrestling and swimming ability.
Quite.
In other words, I believe you told me the story that at the time the Japs had you on the top of the submarine, you were shackled, handcuffed,
Yes.
and you saw a chance, dove into the water, and they followed with machine guns.
That is
but
correct, yes.
your ability to swim underwater, you swam so far that they thought that they... How far can you swim underwater, Lord Blair?
Jules, at the moment I can swim close to 100 yards underwater.
That is
with
300
turns.
That is 300 feet.
Yes, that's with turns, of course,
And
but without turns a little longer.
I don't want to take anything away from Blears.
Just one moment, Jules. Lord Blears at all times. Please, not Blears. I mean, dash it all, Jules, that's quite...
Well, isn't Blears his name?
It is his, part of his name. Jules, please to, just for my sake, otherwise I may be dismissed as his manager.
Captain, in order that we may rush this interview along and get into it, I will say, Lord Blears, not to take anything away from Lord Blears, I believe you can swim about the same distance, can't you?
Well, I cannot swim the same distance, Jules, because I never would attempt to equal his lordship's accomplishment.
Thank you very much. Now, since swimming did save your life, Lord Blears, do you continue to swim now?
Most assuredly, Jules. I have a nice pool in the grounds of my home, and I swim every day and every evening.
I believe you do a lot of work with the youngsters in your neighborhood.
Yes, that is correct. A lot of children are not getting the swimming coaching that they should have regarding the fundamentals of learning to swim, and I teach the neighborhood children, and I get quite a kick out of it, as they say over here, Jules. Quite a kick out of it.
I see. Well, that's really wonderful, and the work that you're doing with the youth of our community here certainly is not overlooked by the people themselves. It's a great work you're doing with the youth here.
Well, thank you, Jules.
And, Captain, I understand that you help him also.
Yes, it might say that there is no better instructor than his lordship.
Oh, thank you for adding those few kind words. Now, as to your hobbies, what are your hobbies?
Well, the important ones, of course, Jules, photography. I have many hobbies, but photography and music are my two favorites.
Photography and music?
Oh, yes, yes.
Jules, it is not just a hobby with Lord Blears. Throughout the world, not just the United States or the British Empire, throughout the world, Lord Blears is noted as an authority on 3D photography and also on music, too.